The candle that never burns out. James sat in the dim glow of the candle, his breath coming in ragged gasps. The flame flickered, casting long, shifting shadows on the boarded-up walls of the abandoned cottage. His hands trembled as he clutched the table, knuckles white. Outside, the wind howled, but inside, all he could hear were the whispers. They said it was just a candle, but they didn't tell me what would happen if I lit it. 3 days ago, he had found it in a dusty old antique shop, tucked away in a glass case. Something about it had called to him, the way the wax gleamed, untouched by time. The shopkeeper had stared at him, his expression grim. "Once you light it, never blow it out." James had laughed. A sales gimmick, he thought, a way to make an ordinary candle seem mystical. He had taken it home, placed it on his kitchen table, and struck a match. At first, it had burned like any other candle, warm and steady. But when he tried to blow it out, the flame remained. He had poured water over it, doused it in sand, even thrown it into a sink full of soapy water. Still, the fire continued to burn, unbothered. Then, the shadows began to move. At first, he thought it was a trick of the light, a play of flickering reflections, but the shadows grew darker, stretched further, moved even when nothing else did. They slithered across the walls, whispering his name. He had fled, packed a single bag, and driven until he reached the most isolated place he could find. This forgotten cottage in the woods. But it didn't matter. Every night, the candle appeared beside him, its flame unwavering, its whispers growing louder. James rubbed his eyes, exhaustion weighing on him. He hadn't slept in 2 days. The darkness beyond the candle's reach was no longer just emptiness. It had depth, movement, purpose. A sudden knock at the door made him jump. He froze, breath caught in his throat. The candlelight trembled, casting frantic shadows across the room. Silence followed. Then, a soft creak. He turned slowly. The shadows were no longer just on the walls. They stood behind him. A chorus of voices rose, overlapping, a susurrus of secrets and hunger. The shadows stretched toward him, fingers lengthening, grasping. James clutched the candle in both hands, as if it could somehow protect him. He screamed. Darkness swallowed the room, and then a faint glow appeared. The candle sat in the center of an unfamiliar house, its flame steady, waiting. Somewhere, in another place, another person reached out, drawn to its eerie beauty. The whispers began again. The candle never burns out. It only finds a new owner. If you love chilling horror stories, don't forget to like and subscribe for more terrifying tales.